Jimbino vegan.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a musician, artist, and illustrator. I like to dance. I like to paint. I like to.
Cycle
Vegan.
apparently as well.
Yeah. I was cycling in the circus. I like to cycle. I like
In the
trees.
circus?
Yeah, I was with the Cyclone Circus for 6-7 years, cycling around the world, playing music on the streets. Went all the way from Spain to Thailand,
That's
overland, no
that-
fossil fuels.
That's very good. Now tell us about your art, because I'm quite interested in arts.
So I'm an
you're
illustrator.
an illustrator. So would you illustrate comics or?
I do pictures. I've been making a calendar for the last 10 years, every year, and
Do you think that might be a bit slow?
no, every year. What do you mean?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I've been making a calendar for 10 years. What? It's not there yet. No, I'm just saying.
And then let me see what else. I do a bunch of other pictures. I've been living in New Orleans, so I got a bunch of paintings of all the musicians in New Orleans. Many musicians. not
You
all.
painted them yourself?
Yeah, I paint in situation. I also paint from memories, from fun things that happen, and scenes. Do flyers, posters.
Do you do photographic
commissions.
stuff?
I don't like working from photos because
No. But basically, but I think photos like art. You know what I mean? Now on its own, without sort of like making it into a painting or stuff.
just like, do I do photography?
Yeah.
I take some photos, but mostly references for pictures or for fun or memories.
Okay,
If I'm given the choice between sitting down and taking a photo or doing a painting, and I have time, I like to sit down and paint.
So where do you originally come from?
I was born in the hospital, Middlesex Hospital. I grew up 2 blocks over here,
Wow.
Regent Square, King's
That's
Cross.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how did you get into music?
So, at my school, I was really lucky. There was this kid in my class who was called Leo Hornak, and he was really into jazz. And I was playing clarinet at school, but I didn't know what you could do with the clarinet. And he loved clarinet, so he gave me a bunch of recordings and was saying, like, listen to this, and it blew my mind. You know, like early jazz recordings and blues, and
Where
also
he is
Jimmy
now?
Jufra. Yeah, he's doing well for himself. He works for the BBC.
Christ.
Yeah.
You call that doing well?
Well, I don't know, you know.
But so basically, do you do session work at all?
I've done a few recordings. I think the difference between my playing and someone like Ewan is like he's next level on like performance-wise and skills and technique. But I kind of, because I had the experience in the circus and because I've been a street musician so much of my life, I think I've got quite a strong like performance presence and activity, you know, like
I've heard
do
you
some
play.
dancing
You're very
and-
good. Excellent. Then.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, it probably to an untrained musician, it's like you can't hear the difference between someone who's really, really good and someone who's good or pretty good. But
So can I ask
can
you
hear-
what
yeah.
instruments you actually play?
I
Because
play
we haven't
clarinet and a bit of ukulele, guitar, and
Okay.
I dabble with the tuba and piano. And the thing is, I'm a composer. I
Yeah.
write my own songs and I
The
work.
ukulele is sort of like somebody actually told me about 9 months ago the difference between banjo lady and ukulele.
Yeah.
See, I always think people are playing banjos, but they're not. Basically, it's just
Circular.
thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
right, so which do you prefer, the ukulele or
I
the
don't
banjo?
play either. I play guitar lately or guitar.
You said ukulele.
I lied to you.
What? Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's 21st century, man.
All right, okay.
We're allowed to lie these
Yeah,
days. Haven't you
well,
noticed?
Well, yeah. Fucking look at Joe Biden. Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So yes. So where are we? So basically, where's the best places you've played in the world?
Ooh, well, I've been in New Orleans for a little while now.
I've seen some of your videos down there.
That's a
Fucking
beautiful
amazing.
place for the vibe. I really like. I mean, if you're general, if we're talking about stuff in general, then it's great going to some like small little town where there's not much music, and people don't get to see much. And
Okay. And where's
and then
that?
you
And where
and
are
then-
those towns?
anywhere, any small town, and then you just perform and people flip out because it blows their mind.
Wow.
So I like playing in the big cities. People are a bit like kind of
Yeah, spoiled.
blasé, you know.
Spoiled.
Yeah, they're nonchalant. They've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Of course.
And then in a small place, you see the kids with wide open eyes. Everybody's freaking out. It's a good feeling, and
Yeah.
and they react very like, you know, it goes deep and it touches them, you know, and they react in a big way, and that's really cool.
Did you go to New Orleans before Hurricane Katrina or after?
No, after.
After. And
Yeah.
but do you think, because I was asking someone this same question, do you think it affected music in New Orleans, or do you think it was
Yeah,
affected?
I reckon it affected. I'm not an expert on this, but I kind of get the feeling that it created a bit of a revival in the music scene,
Okay.
because people realized in the States how precious the city was and how much culture came out of it, and and then after Katrina there was Treme, the show, which, you know, the series, and then lots of people were like, wow, there's this great music happening down there, and yeah, so I think you know it's.
Do you feel proud to be a part of that culture? Because you're a player.
I feel like, yeah, definitely. I would be timid to say I'm part of that culture because I'm a visitor, but so I wouldn't say I'm part of it, but to join in, to witness it, one day hopefully.
Okay, keep asking these questions. I don't
Yeah,
always get
carry
a
on.
good result, but what's the craziest thing that's ever happened when you've been playing, or when you've been touring, or whatever? What's
Me?
the craziest? Yeah, craziest thing. Crazy. You're like, my God, that was crazy. That sort of stuff.
All right. Oh, I
Maybe
get
since
I get
we
quite a
answered
few.
This question.
I get a
Yeah.
few. Let me see.
One to do.
My goodness.
One to do.
Oh, you put me on the spot. It seems
Yeah,
like something.
everybody says this.
During a gig.
Huh?
During a gig.
Well, during when you've been touring, or like when you've been going around.
Just
It's
during
been
your
a
You
life.
have to
season.
ask somebody who watches me, because loads of people tell me that they've seen crazy stuff
What
on
crazy
stage.
stuff?
But for me, it just seems normal. You know, I don't know what crazy is. It's like people having loads of fun. I
Okay.
guess when people really let go and enjoy themselves and throw off the inhibitions and don't care about all this conditioning we've had.
You mean like shagging in the fucking audience or something like that? I mean, what you're talking about, inhibitions? What does that mean?
No, I
They're
haven't-
just dancing about.
I haven't seen
what?
that. Oh,
You haven't seen that? Oh, okay.
we got like 40 people naked at a gig.
How many?
40 people.
Totally naked?
Yeah,
No,
pretty
that-
much.
Really? How did you
Is
manage
that
to
crazy?
do that? No, that is crazy.
Oh,
How did you
okay.
manage to do
That's
that?
crazy,
Nice.
apparently.
How did you manage to persuade 40 people to be naked?
Well, I got naked. Then I persuaded the band to get naked, and then I persuaded the audience to get naked.
Like a virus. sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah, infectious.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
Freedom is infectious, and then
Where was that?
that was at the Greenside Fair, and I was playing with a band there.
Is that England?
Yeah, it's in England. It's in Somerset, and then so it was all over the newspapers, the local newspaper, Somerset. A picture of like us all naked on the stage and loads of audience members naked, and but we were never asked back because the woman who booked us
Are you
doesn't.
surprised?
Well, yeah. Next year, the whole festival was booked out because everybody had, I don't know. Maybe everybody had seen the newspapers and seen all the publicity and wanted to
Okay.
see a bunch of naked young people. But we weren't asked back because the booker didn't approve of nudity, even though the audience loved it.
So what's
They loved you the night at the Biddle Brothers.
Yeah. But now that was like 6 years ago, and I feel like there's already become a little bit of a change with the nudity. You have to do trigger warnings and stuff like that.
Trigger
these days.
warning for nudity? No, never. You know what I mean? So tell me,
Discuss.
What's the worst bloody thing that's happened? You think, shit, that happened.
Oh
and
yeah. Oh man, that's easy to answer.
Yes, finally,
So
a
we're
straight answer.
performing on a stage. We had this nice show going on, and it was a nice big stage and like a big space. And in like 1 minute, several accidents happened. Like I was filming, and so my friend, he put down his banjo and started dancing, and then he came back and stepped on his banjo, broke. And then I was filming it, and I don't know, I went over to see how he was, and I knocked over the camera, and that broke. So it was just like, and you can see on YouTube, there's like disaster 30 seconds where everything's breaking. Yeah, it was a bit of an ambitious show. We had a bunch of, I had this really good idea to have the drummer, he was at the back of the stage, and we put these bunch of mattresses behind him. So at the end of a drum solo, he can just go crazy and then fall back into the curtain and disappear, and it would look great. That was the only thing that didn't happen. Everything else.
Fucking hell.
So, tell me, what do you think the future holds for you? Or what do you think you would like the future to hold?
All right. Well, I would like help getting my original music out there, because I'm not good at computers and stuff like that. Anyone under 40. But I'd like to get that out. I'd like to live and work in New Orleans at the moment, because it's a good.
Are you going back soon?
Yeah. And I would like.
Do you think New Orleans is where you belong?
I think for many jazz musicians, you go there and you just feel like life is easier there.
Yeah.
Life is smooth. Yeah, you got great. There's more gigs. There's more work. You can cycle everywhere. It's close to where you have to go. There's less stress. It's more chilled.
Cool.
It's a really good place to be. And there's wonderful people, artists everywhere. It just feels like everything you wish that could happen in bigger cities there, even though it's small, it's happening.
So in New Orleans, what's the best place to play? The best place you played in New Orleans?
Well, I don't
So
know.
you know, you've got to go to that place.
Well, the
that's
best shows
place.
have been on the street, where like the street is always the
Yeah.
most. Yeah.
Okay, so you think the street's better than the?
Well, because the States, you have to be over 21 to be in many bars. So most people who really like to freak out are under 10 years old.
Okay.
So the whole of that freakiest population available is not allowed in, and they're the ones who know how to party. Most of them get conditioned, so by age 20 they know how to sit still and don't know how to party. So that's why I like playing on the street, because you get people, being free, and you never know what's going to happen, and you can have some great moments. One cool thing that happened.
Okay.
So in New Orleans,
No, we go.
one New Orleans. This is a really good thing that happened on New Orleans. On the street, there were some guys with like a cherry picker, or like one of those shovel trucks that pick up
Yeah.
loads of gravel.
Yeah.
And they would come down the street making loads of noise while we were playing. So they were just coming down. I was like, okay, well, we have to work with this. So I jumped inside the shovel thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, pick me up. So they picked me up. I was like 4 meters above ground, 5 meters,
Oh,
playing
yeah.
a solo. Everybody loved it. It was brilliant, and no one could hear it because the truck was like,
Yeah.
but it was really fun. Everybody loved it, and the guys in the cart, fair play to them. They were up for it. They just pressed the raise the clarinet button, and came in front of the band.
So
Brilliant.
I asked this question before to the last person I interviewed, but I'm going to ask you as well. 1920s,
Yeah.
prohibition. Would you have liked to have played in a speakeasy?
Yeah. Why not? If they gave. Yeah, I reckon if they
The
paid.
last person I asked was saying there might be an attention deficit that might be fucking more involved with drinking.
No. I think I would have loved it. I would have loved all the party. I would have loved all the underground side of that. I mean, a lot of my early life was spent in squats, and
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
always like,
Me too.
especially nowadays, the law is more and more prohibitive. So people really let loose in places where it's kind of underground, and you can see human nature. Refreshing. I think it would have been huge relief for all these black folks fresh out of slavery, or getting freedom, and white folks
I
who
don't know if they were fresh out of slavery, or maybe they were basically.
Well,
they were still enslaved.
some of them had
Yeah.
opportunities that they hadn't had, and we're all still happening. It doesn't matter which colour you are.
No.
We're all
More
slaves
slavery
now,
today
man.
than there ever was.
we're all trying to liberate ourselves one way or another. So I think that would have been a really fun experience. I think it would have been really nice. I think also it would be definitely, if you take me back, I would definitely say yes to a speakeasy gig.
Right. Okay.
But I'm not sure how. I'll be really interested to see how it actually was, because there's this mythology about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your cycling quickly?
Yes, of course.
So you
can talk very
cycled sort of like what sort of a bicycle have you got to do this?
Well, that's my bike at the moment. It costs 20 quid. We just
20
use
quid bicycle.
something like that. Yeah, just the cheapest bikes.
And you go all over Europe with
That's the crazy thing with bikes is you can go anywhere with a bike. You go slowly. It doesn't have to be a fancy bike, but it takes you from town to town. You can do like push hard. You can easily do like 50, 60 miles in a day. And it's ultimate freedom.
And you do that. And where do you put your instruments? You've got a thing at the back.
Yeah, well, actually on this tour we were Circus and we had tour bikes, so one bike welded on top of the other with a bunch of bags. So we carried a bunch of stuff and we had a dog, we had a duck, we had
a duck.
Yeah, we had
a duck. What?
We had a.
Who the hell takes a duck on
trailers.
tour? I mean,
A
come
clown.
on. A duck.
Circus. A circus clown.
Yeah.
A circus clown? Would you consider yourself a circus clown in some ways?
I think it doesn't really matter what I consider myself, other people. I can consider myself a serious person, but if everybody thinks I'm a clown, then
Okay.
I guess, you know.
Probably say the same.
Would you
about
say,
me.
yeah.
Okay, so basically at the end of the day, John, would you like to ask some questions?
Yeah, Jim, are you going to play any gigs in London before you go back to New Orleans or whatever?
Yeah, I'm playing at this Harlequin Fair up in, well, that's not in London, that's near King's Lynn. I'm playing there on the last Sunday of July. And I've got...
Anything in London, though?
Yeah, I've got this gig at Wapping Embankment Market. I think it's the day before, the last Saturday of July. I'm playing there from 1 till 4.
Okay.
Wapping Embankment.
Who's playing with you? Your brother? Or
I don't know, really some nice musicians. I haven't chosen. I don't have a steady group here at the moment. I play with a cowboy group, so I'll maybe do it with them.
It's a cowboy show.
We're playing like
a
country
cow-
music.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We're called the Lycra Cowgirls,
Okay.
and they also like to cycle, and we play like country music, you know, like rollin', 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 and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
great,
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
Roll in,
cowboy
roll in.
songs. Yeah, it's
Love
beautiful. It's great. Yeah.
That's in Wapping.
Maybe I'll do that with them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they call it the Lycra Cowgirls, but they're not online because.
Yeah. No, I'd like to come to it.
Yeah. Give me your number and I'll send
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
info.
of course, I'll get you after this. Yeah, but
That'd be
Happy
great.
days.
So basically, well, I think that's the end of the interview, and
Lovely.
thank you very much. You've
Thank
been very
you.
kind.
It's been lovely chatting to you. And lovely.
fantastic, my friend,
Yeah,
fantastic, man.